Hey everyone, Tyler here from Tyler Dice Golf, and this video is going to be on Bryson DeChambeau's back-to-back win. We're going to talk about how to hit a draw, and we're also going to do a little update on who I think is going to be picked for the 2019 Ryder Cup in Paris, France, for the United States team. So, pretty impressive win by Bryson DeChambeau, right? Back-to-back. So he's won the first two legs of the FedEx Cup playoffs, which is pretty impressive. And he's set himself up to be really tough to beat, to be the end of the year FedEx Cup champion. Not bad for a guy that's received a ton of criticism for how he approaches to play the game. It's very unique. It's very thought out. And it's a pretty well established way of playing golf, as we can see right now. We obviously don't know how long he's going to be able to keep this up. But as of right now, 3 wins this year, 1 win last year. I'd say he's got it rolling pretty good. Plus, it's not like he doesn't tee up and have a ton of pressure on him to play well every single week. So congratulations to Bryson DeChambeau. Really happy to see him playing well. And also, it just goes to show there is more than one way to skin a cat. And, you know, as far out there as you want to get, it seems that you can win on the PGA Tour doing it. So pretty cool stuff. A little bit of an update on the 2019 Ryder Cup. Going into the playoffs, I was thinking it was probably going to be the 4 picks. I was saying it was probably going to be Xander Schauffele, Tony Finau, Tiger Woods, and Phil Mickelson were initially going to be the 4 picks. Bryson DeChambeau kind of took it in stride and said, "Hey, I'm going to do everything I can to make a case for myself to get picked." And I don't think there's a hotter golfer on the planet right now. The guy hits lots of fairways, hits it pretty far, seems to make putts, can chip really well. Pretty much means he can be paired with anybody. So right now, I think if you're going to pick 4 players, you're going to pick Tiger, you're going to pick Phil, you're going to pick Bryson DeChambeau, and I think you're crazy not to pick Tony Finau. Another young guy, plays with a lot of energy, plays with a lot of heart, and would love nothing more than to represent his country in the Ryder Cup. So I think those are going to be your 4 picks. So yeah, those would be my 4 choices, and I think you're crazy to go with anybody else other than those 4 guys. Tiger Woods has been playing solid golf all year. Really deserves a pick. Phil Mickelson shot his lowest round in like 2 years yesterday, so congrats to him. And he's been playing some really, really consistent golf. And I mean, over the last 2 years, he only has 1 win, but he has played awesome golf a lot of the time, and he's just had a couple of slip-ups here and there. But with a partner, Phil Mickelson's able to make a lot of birdies, and he's able to get bailed out a few times when he needs it. So I think it'd be crazy not to pick Phil Mickelson. I've already stated my case for Bryson DeChambeau. And Tony Finau, again, top 10 in 3 of the 4 majors. I think he has had 10 top 10s this year. No wins. I believe he had 1 last year, but no wins this year. And he's top 10 in the FedEx Cup, I believe. And I don't know how you can't pick him. He hits it a long way. He can putt pretty good. Again, he's young, so he's not going to play in all the matches. But hey, I think he's a good pick, and I think you'd be crazy not to pick him. So let's jump into this, and lastly, we're going to finish up with how to hit a draw. So hitting a draw is something that a lot of people would love to be able to do time and time again, right? We all like to hit draws. You know, lots of golfers struggle with hitting fades or slicing the golf ball. And if you ask them what their preferred ball flight is, they'll say, "I want to hit a draw." Well, we're going to show you how. So we want to hit a draw. What's got to happen to hit a draw, right? Number 1, you need to make sure your path and your club face match up correctly to produce a draw ball flight. So you want to make sure the club's coming slightly from the inside, right? Because if it comes from the inside and your club face is square, what's going to happen? Goes out to the right and stays straight, right? And if your club face is closed and you're swinging across the golf ball to the left, what's going to happen? Club face is closed. Well, didn't show up well here. We'll actually hit one. So club face is closed, swing to the left. straight to the left, right? So we don't want that. What we do want is we want a nice balance of that. We want a slight into out golf swing. We want a club face that is slightly closed or pointing to the left of our swing path. Okay? We don't need a club face that is closed to the target. We need a club face that is slightly closed or pointing left of your swing path. So if you swing out to the right, your club face is still going to be pointing to the left of that, but it still could potentially be pointing right of the target. It doesn't have to be shut down, closed like that. It doesn't have to be hooded. So if we look at our golf ball here, if we have a square club face, right? Square club face, it doesn't have to be closed down hard like this. If we have a in to out, so if we have a neutral path, we have a more in to out path, that club face can be square, or I'm sorry, it can be closed to the path, but still open to the target. See what I'm saying? So it doesn't have to be shut down crazy closed. It just needs to be slightly left or closed to your swing path. And you can do that several different ways. You can set up to try and promote that draw, or you can do some manipulations with your golf swing to try and hit that draw, or you can try and preset the club face at the top. So those are kind of your options. The easiest option I find is to just preset my setup. Okay, just make some corrections in my setup. So if normally I hit the ball pretty straight, I'm trying to hit a draw, so I will set up a little bit more to the right. I will play the golf ball a hair more forward in my stance, because this is going to allow the club face to rotate closed a little bit easier. And I'm going to try and close the club face ever so slightly at address. So again, my club face may not be pointing towards the target, it may not be pointing left of the target, it's probably still going to be pointing right at the target, but with my alignment change, ball position change, and club face change at address, I'm doing everything I can to make sure that I hit a little bit of draw here. So as we set up the ball, again, slightly close that face and hit the shot. Voila, there is a draw, right? Now if you want a bigger draw, easy thing to do is to just kind of close the club face down a little bit more, aim a little bit more to the right. So close the face down a little bit more, aim a little bit more to the right. And there's a slightly bigger draw. So I don't think you can see on the camera, but there's 3 faint lines here from the 3 previous shots, and then the bold yellow line from the shot that I just hit. So as you can see, the faint line starts kind of pretty much on line, and then goes a little bit left, and then fades, and the other one starts right at the center line, and then hooks back to the left. Okay? Not too much. Now, if you want to hit one pretty straight and have it fall to the left, that's pretty simple to do too. So say you just want to have a little bit of a curve to try and maybe use the slope on the green a little bit more to have it kick a little left. So on that one, we would do everything the same. Oh, I'm sorry. We would move ball position forward slightly. I would aim a hair to the right, not much to the right, and I would keep my club face just a hair closed. So we'll aim to the right, a hair to the right, ball position a hair forward, club face a hair closed to the path, and hit the shot. As you can see there, pretty spot on, right? Stays really straight and just falls ever so slightly to the left of my center line there. And that is essentially all you have to do to hit a draw. You don't need to do anything crazy. Again, you don't have to shut that club face down a lot. You don't have to do any weird manipulations with your golf swing if you don't want to. That's how I hit a draw. That seems to be pretty easy. Again, I hit 3 different draws on command for you just by making slight changes to my setup. And I also had an understanding of what my swing was going to do through impact, right? I knew what my path was going to be like. I knew what to expect from my club face. And I knew that if I changed ball position a little bit forward, it helped that face close down enough to give me the desired results that I wanted. Again, what you're trying to do with hitting a draw, when you're trying to work the ball anyways, is you're trying to stack things up in your favor to give you the best chance to get the best results possible. Okay? So we're not just walking up there and being like, you know, I know a lot of players used to think this, a lot of classic golfers used to think this. They'd walk up to the golf ball and they'd think draw, think draw, think draw, think draw. In their head you'd be hearing draw, 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 and they would walk up and they'd hit a draw. They would subconsciously be able to figure it out. However, that doesn't translate for most golfers. This, using your setup to your advantage, does translate to most golfers. If you understand that moving the golf ball slightly forward in your stance allows your club face to close down a little bit more, that's one thing you're stacking in your favor. If you understand that changing your alignment a little bit more to the right affects your swing path, which gives you that in-to-out swing path that you're looking for, which helps you hit a draw, that's stacking another thing in your favor. If you understand that closing your club face down ever so slightly, so it's pointing left of your swing path, will help you hit a draw, help you work that ball to the left, that's stacking another thing in your favor. And if you also know that, hey, I want to work this ball from right to left, let's make sure I'm not holding onto the club, right? You're not holding onto the club through impact. Let that club release. Let it release a little bit more. That's also going to help you hit a draw. So by stacking those things in your favor, you know, that's going to give you better results moving forward on hitting a draw more on command. So that's all I got for you in this video. Again, we went over Bryson DeChambeau's big win, back-to-back wins this week and last week. My 4 picks for the Ryder Cup this year, 2019 Ryder Cup in Paris, France, and we talked about how to hit a draw. So hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you got a lot out of it. Let's double check to make sure we don't have any questions. And if not, then I'll let you go. Okie dokie, no questions. Thanks very much for watching. We'll see you later.